Hi, it's me again, Steve Krueger, down here in my studio basement. Now, coming up is episode number 4. It's going to be a fun demonstration. I changed my mind in a few places. You're going to see some new techniques. And winter is just around the corner. It's still fall, and this is a fall video. Might be 6 episodes, I don't know. But this is episode number 4. It's going to be fun. Here we go. All right, as I mentioned in my intro, this is going to be episode number 4. Episode number 3, we laid in these trees. Episode number 4, I'm going to demonstrate how I laid these trees back in here, how I laid in the lake. Now, before I start demonstrating, off camera, I put this little hill in here, and you'll see how I changed my mind on that. And off camera also, to begin with, I put in, I used some masking fluid to put in some little waves here and to do a little work on the shore. You're going to see how I changed my mind on that. I don't want to bore you with that because I, so to speak, erased all that and reworked it. So that's going to be kind of fun watching how I did that, how I changed my mind. So episode number 4, here we go. All right, let's take a look at the big picture. We're going to make this Lake Michigan, or a big lake back here. Bring the water all the way over here. And I still don't know what I'm going to do over here. I put some masking fluid here. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. But we're going to go big. We're going to go Prussian Blue. I hardly ever use Prussian Blue. But we don't want this same blue down here. So we're coming in kind of light to begin with. I can always come along and darken this. And I don't want to come right up against her. Can you see this? Oh, I'm sorry. Here we go. This is her, the shirt that she's wearing, so I don't want it to touch that, and I don't want to touch the dress here. Now her dress, I think, is going to be a, I don't know, it's going to be some sort of blue. So I'm not using the same blue. I'm using Prussian Blue here, and we'll use a different blue. I haven't decided yet what to do on her dress. Now, I did some masking fluid and did use the straw here to make little grass come up. And I put some Prussian Blue on a paper here. And that's how I'm doing this. Okay, now we come up next to the, whatever this was, a hay crop right here, but we leave white. We don't put the blue right up against this green here. Okay. Maybe I'll just lighten it up a little bit. Get some kind of reflection there. I can always come back and do darker. So let's bring the blue over here. Right up against the barn. Am I in the camera? No, I'm not. Sorry about that. Okay. Get your act together, Krueger. Okay. That kind of brings your eye across. And we'll kind of make this dark. Sorry, got to go back and forth here. Okay, when this dries, it'll dry lighter. Got a little puddle going right here. So bring that off a little bit. Okay, be back. Okay, let's take the tape off and check out our horizon line. Okay, there we go. That's going to be a lake. I'm going to put some trees back here. And off camera, I cheated a little. I raised this, I raised all these trees up just by putting in a little bit of orange, a little bit of green, things like that. Let me show you that. So I just raised that by just putting some dots, making leaves. And here again is the horizon line. When we let this all dry, I'll peel this masking fluid away, and that'll brighten up these. This could be the waves back in here. Okay, we pull the tape up. Here's the horizon line. A little bit of it came over here. So now I've got to put masking fluid here to create a shoreline. So I'm going to turn this upside down. And I am going to get some masking fluid. Oops. And we're going to create a shoreline. Kind of irregular on the masking fluid. This is where you get into real detailed. And we'll okay, I'll be back. Well, take a look at that. And that's going to be the shoreline along here. Okay, as you can see, again, I use this straw with a point and the masking fluid. Now, to put down the white, you can never get the white back. That's why you want to throw down some masking fluid. And then when you put the trees in, of course, you pull, like I did over on the other side, by the barn, you pull the masking fluid away, and you've got some white dots here to drop in your yellows and oranges. But we're going to use the, oops, wait a minute. Okay, sorry about that. We're going to use this again to blow in some more masking fluid up here. And I'll do that off camera. You've seen me do that, so I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. This is all dry. Now, I live in Wisconsin and near Lake Michigan, and they have dunes like this. So I'm going to bring the water over and kind of create this like this is the shoreline down by Lake Michigan. Let's see if we can make that work. Okay, get some. Okay, we got to feather that in. Okay, let's see, bring this over. Okay, I'm liking that, except this is showing through a little bit, so I got to darken that. Okay, I will be back. Okay, now we're going to bring the background here to life. Now the idea is, let me show you, let's see, show you the big picture here. We've got, this is real heavy over here. This is, of course, going to be the central interest. All of this is in your face. I want your eye, once we get this, like I said, this is probably Lake Michigan, something like that. And once we get the trees back here, your eye is just going to flow back there after it bounces around on all this frontal stuff. So that's the plan. I'll be right back. Okay, to begin with, we're going to go dark down here, real dark, so that when we drop in color, once I peel this masking fluid off, it's going to really pop. So I've got, what do I have? I've got old Sienna, Hooker's Green Light, and I think this is Viridian right here, but just it's going to be a dark color. So here we go. Let me get this, and I'm mixing that. Where'd it go? Old Sienna and the Hooker's Green. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, that's kind of cool. That's going to be really dark right in there. So I'm going to lay just a little bit of water in here. And we're coming in dark. This again, now this is a leap of faith right here. Because again, if you're an oil painter, you can just paint in your colors. If you screw up, you can wipe it off and try again. So let's see. Let's just do a little bit more water. Get some of this brown up there. Okay, we're going to let that dry. Okay, I'm back, and I came in dark and I just blotted this a little bit to get this contrast here. I don't know if I like that, but what I did, we got to have a shoreline. So where did I got my yellow ochre. Let me see if I can, and now I've got masking fluid along here, so when I pull that up, this brown, a lot of it will disappear to white, but that gives you the look of a shoreline. So, okay, we are going to let this dry and I'll bring in some more color, some different color. Okay, what am I doing? I'm mixing some sepia with Chromium Oxide Green. And let me show you that color. That's kind of that's another real dark. So again, we got to come in dark so that when we drop in the light colors, it'll really pop. So I'm just dropping in a little water, and we will mix in a little green with this. Okay, do I like that? Let's drop in okay. Let's come along here. And I'm not going to bring it up against her dress. Okay, there's our dark colors, and put a little more in here. Know when to stop, know when to stop. A little bit more sepia. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, everything's dry back here. And let's take up all of the masking fluid, see what happens. Okay, these are the waves in the lake right here. Okay, what do we got here? Maybe I put too much masking fluid in, but we'll see what we can do with this. Be right back. First of all, we've got to get rid of all these. I don't like that look, so we are going to disappear. I'm getting my Prussian Blue, and we will make these go away. Leave a few. Okay, and here we go. Get rid of this one. And make this real dark. Make these little rocks pop. Okay, I'm kind of liking that. Now, too dark, so let's see what we can do here. Okay, I'm liking that. Be back. Okay, this is the shoreline, and it's a little bit too white. We've got to tone it down with, let's see, just a little yellow ochre. And that's sepia. We'll just bring it down just a little bit like so. Okay, back to the yellow ochre. Okay, let's run the yellow ochre up like this. This is kind of a, the shoreline is coming up like this. Okay. Now let's drop in some color. We got to start somewhere, so we'll do a little bit of orange. And that's too much. Okay, that's good. A little bit of yellow we'll bring up here. Let's get a little bit of red. Drop that in here a little bit. Okay. Yeah, we're getting a shoreline now. I'll be back. Okay, I don't like this shoreline, so I'm dropping in with this scrubber just some water to get it back to kind of the white, kind of the sand dune look. Okay, now we've got to get some tree, we're going to do some pine trees right back here. I'll be back. Okay, here we go with some pine trees. And that's a little too dark. There we go. Mixing a little burnt sienna and Hooker's green. Need a little more burnt sienna there. Yeah, we got to get some upward motion there. And let's bring this one way up. That's a big pine tree. Okay, that's a little too dark. I'm going to blot. Yeah, that pushes that back a little bit. Okay, we're getting there. I'll be back. Coming in with a pen, my, what is this? My 005 pen. And just making some tree branches. Coming up like so. Okay, we got the yellow, we got the orange. Let's just drop in a little bit of red. Okay. Got to get some definition along the shoreline. Okay, we'll let everything dry. I'm going to set this aside and just take a look at it. Okay, let me show you. This is what it looks like. We got the wall here. We're going to get to her later, probably in my 4th episode. But now we're going to put in the sky. We're going to take these clouds and bring them over here. Got my palette, and I've mixed burnt sienna, ultramarine blue to get a gray. And I ran out of blotting paper. I used Viva. So I'm going to use some Vanity Fair napkins for blotting because they have, there's no indentations here that will imprint on the paper. Okay, I have my blotting paper, got my spray bottle, and let me see if I can get this palette in here. Well, I can't get the palette in, but you saw that I mixed burnt sienna and ultramarine blue. So we're bringing the cloud over. And we'll bring that over like so. Okay, now we've got to drop in some, what I have, Cobalt Blue. Bring that in. Now remember, I've got these leaves covered with Mod Podge. So we'll bring the sky up next to her scarf. And we'll now, do we want to blot? Yeah, I'll blot just a little right here. And this is a little dark, so we'll now we got to bring the clouds up a little bit. Okay, let's show off the sky a little bit. That's a little bit too blue. I'm going to pick the board up, and we'll let the sky form itself, the clouds. And let's darken this just for fun. I know maybe I shouldn't do this, but we'll see what happens. Leap of faith here. Bring this up. Well, what do you think? What do you think? Bring this over. Okay, that's going to look good. And let's bring this over just a little bit, make it a little bit darker. Don't like that. Okay, I gotta know when to stop again, so. And let's bring that put a little bit more mood into this this cloud. Okay, what do you say? Let's let this dry, see what we got. Okay, let me show you what we got. Yeah, those are pretty good clouds. I came in and put a little bit of streaks here, and I did a few streaks over here to bring the clouds down. Now it's still wet. Do we want to jazz it up? Let's jazz it up just a little bit. Okay, I'm in the camera. All right, when that dries, it'll dry lighter. It's pretty dark right now. Okay, another thing. Here we go, know when to stop. This is kind of dark right here. Let's use the scrumble brush. Make sure it's clean. And we'll lighten this up. There we go, that cloud's, can you see that okay? Then we'll bring, now you don't want to do this too hard or you could scratch through the paper, but this is pretty good paper. Okay, that's brightening it up. Let's write here. And Okay, all right. Let's zero in. See, this is already drying. Got your clouds there. Let's see if we can bring that up. Yeah, there we go. I might have to fix that. Well, I'll just do it while we're on camera. We'll bring the sky down just a little bit, break up that cloud. Bring this out, little dots. Okay, let's look over here. Brighten up the cloud a little bit there. Okay, well, let's take a look at this. Okay, good. We brought the clouds over, kind of thinned them down. They were kind of up like this. Yeah, we got a little motion there in the clouds. Oops. Now this is just, there's a little bit of blue on this, in this water here that I'm dropping in. Let me zero in on that. And we'll do that over here. Just get rid of this screaming white. Okay, oops, let me get that. Okay, I dropped it in over here, in there. That kind of pushes it back. Yeah, I'm liking that. Now, while I'm on camera, no, I have to find my Prussian Blue. I'll be right back. Check, check, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, with watercolor, sometimes you can go back and fix things. Sometimes you can't. Sometimes you go back to fix things. You screw things up. And like I always said, know when to stop. But this water here was just way too blue. So I'm going to try and get some variations in this. Now again, this is masking fluid or painter's tape, and I ran it over a linty towel using the scrubber. We're just going to get rid of some of this, what I use, Prussian Blue. I don't have too much water to work with here, so I got to be careful. And I want your eye to go to this water, so let's bring it back a little bit more. Now let's see what we got. Okay, do we like that? Yeah, I'm liking that. Of course, I'm going to have to let this dry, bone dry. And we might drop a little reflection into that, just a touch. Leave this dark, leave this light here. Do we want to do anything over here? Nah, we'll just leave that. I just reviewed my previous segment on this. When I laid this tape down, I said it was masking tape or masking fluid. Forget it was not masking fluid. I did not use masking fluid. I meant to say masking tape or painter's tape. So that's what I used. Sorry about that. Okay, I'm living dangerously here. This is expensive paper, so I'm trying to get this down to the white of the paper. And that's going to, let's feather this a little bit here. Get this up against her dress. And we'll bring this over. Now, the whiter the paper, the more the reflection is going to pop. That's the kind of the idea. Okay, let's. Now, while it's wet, I don't know if I should be doing this, but we'll see. We're going to drop that orange in again, right here. Make it a little darker. Okay, I'm liking that. Get the red over here. Okay. Am I liking that? Yeah. Okay, this is the end of episode number 4. And I have to admit, I thought I really screwed up here, but I think dropping these reflections in really, let's just show, really make the woods back here pop. That draws your eye out of the picture. Now, let's talk. I've been having fun doing this. It's longer. This was longer than I expected. But as you can see, you take everything step by step, as I mentioned. Now, with watercolor, sometimes you just, like I say, you have to know when to stop. I could go back. Let's say I didn't like this. Let's say I wanted to get rid of all this blue and make the reflection come down further. I'd probably screw it up. So like I've said a lot of times in the past, you got to know when to stop. So we're going to stop right here. Episode number 5, we'll do the rocks down here, the rock wall, the gate. And I don't know, I might start with her face, bring this lady to life. That's going to be fun. This, of course, is the focal part, bringing this lady to life, putting her out in the windy fall pasture by the lake. I think it's going to be pretty good. So, everyone, have a wonderful day.